His name is Pride. He's never wrong and always right. Stares for hours at his might. Always darkness lies inside, sharp as a knife. Never a doubt inside his mind, but his ego makes him blind. No, you can fall in love with pride.
Space Marine 2, a game I was absolutely frothing at the mouth for as the first trailers dropped. A game I absolutely adore, and a game I've made a video on just for you. Let's begin by laying out the rules. If applicable, I should only use a combat knife. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is impossible to not use a ranged weapon. Once per mission, I found myself being required to, and that is a absolutely huge disappointment. But I still tried to keep a challenge going when I could, even if I did have to use a ranged weapon. I'm also playing on Angel of Death difficulty as of recording. It is the hardest difficulty in the game. The recording and the work on this project has been tough. I recorded and even began this script writing in December of 2024, but with a move across country, I lost the footage on my old PC, but with some help from my parents, I managed to get it uploaded on my second YouTube channel and re-downloaded. But I had already partially re-recorded this challenge, getting about a third of the way through the campaign. With my general inexperience editing and script writing at the time, and the difficulties with keeping all the footage, it single-handedly nearly made me quit this whole YouTube project entirely. But I am back, and I have been back. So, with that said, let's resume. The game has a mechanic where the first time you die, you're actually just knocked down and can be revived. I won't be counting those as deaths because the game doesn't, but don't you worry, we'll still have plenty of deaths. If it's live footage, this red dot will appear in the top left corner. You are also forced to have these AI teammates during every mission. They're pretty mid and do help a little bit, but not a ton. I'm using Medicae for the healing item during this challenge.
Why?
That's a great question. Because it creates a more dynamic fight. Now, spoilers ahead. I will be spoiling the entire lore of Space Marine 2. So, if you haven't played the game in the last, I don't know, year since this came out, go play it. Yeah, that's all the boxes on my checklist done. So let's just get into it. When I went to replay the game, it just put me in the first mission, skipping the tutorial mission. I don't know why, but it is what it is. We meet the secondary team that technically assists us throughout the entire game, but not directly. But as I have the object permanence of an infant, if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. As our ship arrives on the planet, Gadriel tries to chat us up, but we stay stoic as standard for a Space Marine.
You served in the Death Watch? Yes.
He then talks about how old we are and how we couldn't have been born a Primaris, as if it's an insult.
See those service stats? Our lieutenant is over 200 years old. He couldn't have been born a Primaris. You're right. And now he has your command.
We hop out of the landing ship and meet the Major for the first time. We also get to start with the dagger, which, thank God, really. And it's not long until we are forced to use it, fighting our first enemy type of the game, Gaunts. They are accompanied en masse by their slightly larger cousins, the Tyranid warriors. They are the second most common enemy behind the Gaunts, and they usually come with swords, snipers, and whips. But that pretty health bar of mine, well, it drains rapidly. In fact, I think that throughout this playthrough, it was more common to see my health bar nearly depleted than it was to see it anywhere near above 50%. I think that fact alone is testament to the challenge itself. I get crumped proper-like, and here we'll add the same thing that was added in my first and most watched series, Ghost of Tsushima. Death tally! But in addition, and underneath the death tally, I have added a mortal wound category. This is likely to be the biggest number to represent my eternal suffering. We go off-roading for a bit and get to meet the Doomworm of... wrong series. I mean the Ravager. Get out! They bore tunnels underground and ambush from below. Believe it or not, I actually managed to beat this one without too much difficulty. Not long after, I get to meet these stupid little spore creatures, and I hate them so much. I'm not even going to give them a title card. Oh, I forgot I don't have any power here. Thankfully, this literal wave of spores only killed me once, and I even got to fight another Ravager, which is always fun. Up ahead, Gadriel recommends that we fight through the swamp, and as it is the shortest route, but he is no longer the squad leader, so we take our own route, much to his dismay. Though it clearly can't be that bad, as we immediately see the orbital guns, which is our ultimate destination. On our way, we meet this small platoon of soldiers, who are holding this essential gate, attempting to slow the tide of Xenos. We demand that they open the gate, only for the waves of alien filth to descend upon us. With the hatred of Artemis in our hearts, we hold the line.
Engulf them in pain!
We actually perform a fighting retreat once the door opens, and... Upon entering this room, I really thought it was going to be clean sweep. Just hack and slash. Oh my god, was I wrong. I don't know what the developers were thinking, but there are so many enemies.
Go ahead, Major.
Captain Aiden, I thought you a dead man.
So they wisely let us through, and in exchange, we helped them by fighting up a literal mountain of bodies. We then attempt to take a courtyard, and by attempt, I do mean attempt.
Fall.
Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah! We have finally secured the control room for the orbital cannons. They aren't working. So we begin to defend the facility from the swarms, which are now condensing their resources to stop us from getting the orbital cannons moving. After our little defense, our squad is requested to open up the pylons. And I swear, this animation is taken directly from God of War. Or maybe I'm just schizo. We get the call that they're swarming the pylons, so we go to stop the gargoyles from taking the pylons. Yeah, I can't hit them with the dagger, and the AI won't either, even when I ping the enemies. So...
My gun, I started blasting. Bah, bah. No, I don't see so good, so I missed.
And I ran out of ammo in the pistol. So I switched to the primary. But when I wasn't shooting at the gargoyles, I did use a combat knife only. After finishing off the last of the gargoyles, I wait for my teammates to finish off the zoanthropes, dealing with ground troops so as to remove as many distractions as possible.
Let us relish the sight of those vile ships burning.
So back in the battle barge, I'm sent to the armory to update my weapons, and when I arrive, the tech priest in charge of the armory insinuates that I'm a whiner.
How are you acclimating to your new status?
I have no complaints.
Intriguing. Predictions would determine a 0.9 probability that you would.
I have pressing duties, Magos.
I equip my glorious, beautiful dagger, and progress to the next checkpoint, where I meet this albeit badass looking, but ultimately a little stupid, chaplain. So we board the gunship, descending towards Kadaku, while reading the mission details in the loading screen. We are to save an Archmagos from Kadaku, as he is not only an important member of the Ecclesiarchy, but he also has important data on a mysterious project. I'm sure it won't be nefarious and bring ruin in any way. So we descend, and I get to meet the man himself, readily available for extraction. But he refuses to come with us, citing his need for his research data.
Oh my god, bro.
So, unhappily, we oblige, with the Major giving us a warning that her men believe that something is out there. We go on to battle a little bit before getting a chance to punch this plant. This is where we begin to see things dancing in the corners of our vision. Even more to our terror, we find a Space Marine dead. We not only recognize who it is, but what killed him. A lictor? We request an apothecary to gather his gene seed, but we can only do little else for him as we progress on. We do a bit more fighting, and I'm required to use my special ability, as I'm a Dumbo and could not for the life of me, literally, parry this dude. Unfortunately, the trend of me dying and struggling to parries is far from a one-off, as I get swarmed and whipped to death by this Slanesh wannabe. Pookie Chiron revives me, and I do the wonderful next move of martyring myself on yet another stack of enemies. I respawn and try again, faring much better. Some more combat later, and I came to this rock, which I thought looked really similar to the rock that Kratos throws in God of War 2018, but I could not find the clip for the life of me. So, just take my word for it that he does that. Anyways, now here we are at the feet of a fallen Imperator class Titan. I mean, can you imagine that thing stomping across a battlefield? Seeing the size in such a close environment is insane to me. But I digress, as I get knocked down again! Finally. Our first boss fight. Unfortunately, after every death, I'd have to jaunt this short distance because it doesn't respawn you into the boss arena, which I think is kind of interesting. But regardless, if you've made it this far into the video, this is about the time you deserve an explanation as to why I'm using a combat knife as my weapon of choice for this challenge. To put it simply, it is the worst area of effect weapon in the game, which for a game where the entire first act revolves around an enemy described as the Swarm, I thought it would be fitting to pick the worst possible weapon. Oh, and it appears my suffering has concluded. Gadrian, this one, comments on how the two fallen battle brothers we had found along the way must have been taken down by a swarm of lictors. We are quick to shut this down, as lictors only hunt solo. We inform the Archmagos that we have arrived at location. We cross the bridge and start to... No matter, we make it inside and descend towards the transmitter.
Verify your signature is detected with 1 life. Disappointingly slow progress. Justice for Anastasis.
No, Archmagos. I have already depicted myself as the Chad Space Marine and you as the Virgin Tech Priest. Here we get to experience the Ripper Swarms.
You have a beautiful child, Mrs. Roberts.
The first one is easy and we can run past. I do learn how to deal with it by spraying the flamethrower in the air, but I'm not a fast learner and I only succeed basically on luck. Oh, and here we get our first heavy weapon. A flamethrower. Yup, I died a solid few times here. The flamethrower doesn't work to keep enemies off because there are also larger bioforms mixed in, like the Gaunts and the Warriors. So after 8 deaths, I gave in to using my bolt gun, specifically on the zone thrope. But it was so much easier with the bolt gun that I decided to manually reset and make it harder on myself by not using the guns at all, and rather only grenades in tandem with the knife, which became a pretty standard tactic when the knife just wasn't cutting it. You see what I did there? Oh yeah, you did. I would go up to grenades, and then to the pistol, and then to the bolt gun, if it was really, really bad. I nailed it after that switch, and finally find why we're throwing our lives away for this Archmagos' project.
Inceptor with jump packs. It has been some time.
Primaris jump packs, definitely worth all that death. So, all that's left is to evacuate with the jump packs. Holy hell, the balancing act of flamethrowing and dodging was not easy. But we finally activate the machine to transfer out the files as we transfer our pretty selves out of the facility.
You now. Noses. Will they hit? Lirio, do you read me? Major, did you see what happened?
Damn it! So we use our cool new jump packs, and they took my combat knife! So I just have to sit here and watch my squad mates have all of the fun. This is truly what that third chair in hotels is for. Now we casually implant bombs into Nurgle's backside. By the skin of my godforsaken teeth, I managed to do it on my first try. Listen, all I'm saying is that he was writing checks he couldn't cash. We wake up to Gadriel talking smack, so we size him up before dragging our steel balls to the command bridge to inform Sergeant Valeus that there's chaos involved, which he takes very seriously, before prompting us to go to our next target on Avarax, the main planet of this campaign.
E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire.
Do you want to watch me go through Avarax? If no, why the hell did you stay watching this video for so long? I'm really impressed with you. If yes, I don't know. Depending on when this videos come out, this will either just be released or I'm already done with the entire series and on other projects. So just go to my channel, watch the subsequent parts, or if they aren't out yet, subscribe to watch the subsequent parts. But regardless, for whenever you're watching this, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.